Hello and welcome back to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm your host Rajni Bharara, and before I move ahead, I would like to read out this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information provided by our experts and attorneys, including comments and replies from users, is not legal advice. Use of information is at your own risk. All right. So I'm your host, Rajni Bharara, and today we are again here with a very special episode lined up just for you. And now, before I talk about that episode, I would like to talk about this very fantastic opportunity that we have for you all. If you're looking for a flexible work from home opportunity, you just have to work 2 hours a day and earn a monthly pay of 5,000 Indian rupees plus 500 Indian rupees for every meeting that you attend. Yes, responsibilities will include managing social media posts, creating engaging content, responding to messages, monitoring analytics, and conducting research and data entry. And all you would require is your own computer, a reliable internet connection, knowledge of LinkedIn, basic English writing skills, Aadhaar card, the ability to work the ability to use your real name on social media, and yes, that's it. And you can apply on email. You can email on shravanti.shodavarupu@higherightpeople.com to apply. So don't wait up, apply right now. Now, I'll be telling you what special episode we have lined up for you. We are diving deep into the top visa options for employers looking to make quick hires. We'll be discussing H1B, H1B cap exempt, L1 and O1 visas, comparing their features, requirements, and suitability for different situations. And now I'm thrilled to introduce our distinguished guest, Sophie Alcorn. Sophie is a board certified specialist in United States immigration and nationality law by the State Bar of California, Board of Legal Specialization. She's one of the only a handful of immigration attorneys in Silicon Valley with this designation. Sophie's mission is to transcend borders, expand opportunities, and connect the world by practicing compassionate, visionary, and expert immigration law in service of betterment of humanity. Sophie's passion for immigration began at the age of 15 during her first summer job at her dad's law office, where she helped free a Cuban man from indefinite detention. This life changing experience set her on a path to becoming a leading voice in immigration law. She's been quoted in major publications like the New York Times, NBC News, and the Wall Street Journal, and has spoken at numerous global conferences, including TechCrunch Disrupt and Stanford University. She's also a best selling author, and her book, Ask Sophie, The Founder's Guide to Visas and Green Cards, is a must read for founders interested in living and working in the US. Now, without any further ado, please join me in welcoming Sophie Alcorn, everyone. Hi, Sophie. Welcome.
Hi, hi, Rajni. It's so great to be here. Thank you so much for that super kind introduction. I really appreciate it. I'm so honored to be on the show today.
It's an honor having you on the show, Sophie. And I believe, before I talk about that, guys, our show is streamed live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. And the handle is Immigration Talk Show. So don't forget to subscribe to us. And if you have any question related to the topic that you would like to know from Sophie, please post your questions in the comments and we'll be glad to take them. And now, Sophie, I believe and I understand that you have prepared a special presentation for our lovely viewers today, right?
I have several slides on the basic overview of how to use H1B visas, L1 visas, and O1 visas for quick hires when you're a founder or a business owner. So if you're ready, I would be delighted to walk everybody through that for a little bit.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And I'm sure our viewers are also eager to learn more. So let's get right into it. The floor is all yours.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. So today we'll be discussing the basics of H1Bs, the basics of cap exempt H1Bs, which are H1Bs without the lottery, L1 visas for intracompany transfers, O1 visas, and probably a little bit more. You already gave me such a wonderful introduction, but one thing I will say is that, I really believe the world should be a place where every child, every person born should have the opportunity to live their best life and self-actualize and do good work in their area of passion, because I think that when we're each in our flow states doing our one thing, that's the way we can change the world and build a better future for ourselves and our children and our grandchildren and our earth. So it's really an honor to be working at the crossroads of emerging and critical technologies and immigration. And you've already provided lovely disclaimers at the beginning, but I'm a lawyer, so everything always has to have disclaimers. So whatever I'll share now is just general education. It's not legal advice. And if you do have specific and confidential legal questions, you should always simply reach out to an immigration attorney for a consultation.
Right.
All right. So I would love to first start by putting this all into context. Why do people want to live and work in the United States? And why do employers in the United States really want to engage the world's most brilliant people to build new and critical and emerging technologies? Well, there's a lot of things that draw people to Silicon Valley. They want to launch new technologies. They want to have rapid speed of execution. They want to surround themselves with top global talent. This helps to drive profit and create that hockey stick growth curve that a lot of venture capital investors are looking for. And they want to be ready to raise that next round of funding. And so knowing strategically as an employer, your business model, your business plan, your forecast, the economic conditions, your plans for global expansion, accessing the United States market. These are all very important factors in deciding a company's international and global expansion strategy, and also international global talent recruitment strategy for companies inside the United States. So the foundational assumption of this talk is that you are running a business in the United States. Maybe you're an immigrant, maybe you're an American, doesn't matter. But how can you leverage your business to recruit, hire, and retain the world's best minds that will help you grow rapidly? And we have a lot of available legal immigration tools that already exist that can be leveraged creatively to drive that growth and expansion. So first of all, some very basic immigration overview points. The US immigration legal system was really crafted in 1965. That was a long time ago. So pre-internet, people could at that point travel on airplanes to have business meetings, but they were using typewriters. Long distance phone calls were prohibitively expensive. And
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'm your host, Rajni Bharara, and looks like we have experienced some technical difficulties today, and our stream went down for a bit. And we apologize for all the interruption that has happened. And thank you so much for your patience as we try to get things back together and back on track. And now, without any further ado, let's just start the show once again. I'm so sorry, Sophie, about
it's
what is
totally fine, Rajni. I'm really excited to do this. I just delivered a great presentation to nobody that I didn't realize sooner. I'm sorry about that, but it was fabulous. But I'm so happy to answer any questions, whatever's most useful to you, so we can use these remaining 20 minutes together.
Right. Because you only have 20 minutes for the show today. Maybe we can do the presentation later whenever you are available next, right?
That would be amazing. That would be so lovely. And to the extent I was able to track comments, it seemed like a lot of people were commenting and trying to help expand the reach. So I really appreciate that. And I'm happy to come back anytime.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Sophie. And guys, we are diving deep into the top visa options for employers looking to make quick hires. We'll be discussing H1B, H1B cap exempt, L1 and O1 visas, and comparing their features, requirements, and suitability for different situations. And because Sophie only has 20 minutes, we are only going to do AMA today, Ask Me Anything. So whatever that you want to know about this topic, please ask to Sophie. And we already have a question here, Sophie, from Govin
Wonderful.
Dash. And Govin says, hello, is there any chance for H1B second lottery? I had not been selected in the first one. We have been getting this question a lot. What do you have to say?
There could be. If it happens, it will not be until July. The date for all H1Bs that were originally selected to have their petitions filed is June 30th. And so after that, the government will be able to do a count, and they're refining their statistical methodologies every year to try to pinpoint, like, if we accept this many in the lottery, we're going to get this many petitions that are approved. That's the number that counts against the 85,000 cap. So I believe last year there were not any subsequent lotteries, but there could be. So don't worry about it until July. Probably by the end of July, you'll know if it's happening.
Okay, so let's be hopeful until July. Let's wait for July to get an answer to your question, Govin. And thank you so much for your question. Let us know where you're watching this from. Ria is also here. And she says, please help considering O1 visa options. My employer couldn't apply for H1B, but I have a master's degree. Any advice on convincing them for other options like O1 visa?
Yeah, I'm happy to speak to that. So the O1 visa is very demanding of a standard, but if you do qualify, you could theoretically file with an agent instead of an employer petitioner. So even though it's not a self-petition, there are ways to get an O1 if you qualify, even if your employer isn't taking the initiative on that for you. But let's see, if you have a master's degree, it's great, but it's not required. I've actually gotten O1s for people who never went to college or who dropped out of college. It's this very specific set of criteria. Have you won awards or prizes? Have people written about you and your work? What have you created that's somehow disruptive or interesting to your field? Are you a published author? Did you make a lot of money? Did you have a leading and critical role? Do you judge other people in your field? It's a very clear path for researchers and academics, but in the last several years, we've really been able to expand it to entrepreneurs and engineers, people in other types of fields. But the main thing is your work has to have made a public impact for there to be this track record of success that can really show the evidence of extraordinary ability in those fields. And I have a class on that. I teach a mastermind on that. So there's a lot of ways to become qualified for an O1 if you're not yet.
All right, maybe Ria, you can attend the class. You can attend Sophie's class to learn more about it, right? And thank you so much for your question, though. And okay, all right. So, Sophie, we are getting a lot of questions here from our lovely viewers. But before I take another question from them, I have a question for you because we have this topic about top visas that are available for employers who are looking to quick hires, right. So maybe you can guide us about this topic. Maybe you can let us know what are the different types of top visas that are available for employers looking
Happy to. So the basics are H1Bs without the lottery, which are called cap exempt H1Bs, L1 visas for people who already worked for a part of your company abroad for 1 year and they're transferring to the United States, as well as O1 visas for extraordinary ability. Those are the ones we use all the time. And a lot of people don't know about the cap exempt H1B yet, but essentially the H1Bs laws say that if an employer is a university, a nonprofit research institution, or a nonprofit affiliated with a U.S. university, their employees don't have to go through the annual H-1B lottery. So that's one principle. The other principle is you're allowed to have 2 concurrent H-1Bs at the same time. So basically, if you pair those together and you get a part-time job at a nonprofit affiliated with a university, you could then also have a full-time job at the same time for a private US company. And so there's more and more companies that are starting to create fellowships and learning opportunities and really use that legal framework to also help advance the education of STEM students in the US through project-based learning and helping underrepresented and diverse student communities. So if you didn't get selected in the lottery and you're not qualified for an H-1B and you don't have an office abroad, the typical options for most employers to consider are tell your employee to go back and get a master's degree with like a day one CPT master's, or now cap exempt concurrent H1Bs would be the alternative.
All right. Thank you so much for answering the question. I have so many other questions related to this, but I know we don't have much time to discuss about that. So I'll quickly move into the audience's question. So, and I'll take my questions maybe some other day. For now, Sandeep is here, and Sandeep says, "Hi, I'm on STEM OPT and I'm trying to file it on consular process. So, can you please explain the process and also help me with any issues between regular processing and consular?" And he also says something else. He says, "Small edit, file my
File
H1."
H1B through
Yeah.
consular process. Okay, because I was like, wait, I don't think you can do a STEM OPT consular process. Yeah, so for a consular process of an H1B, you need two things. You need an approved I-129 petition from the employer, and then you go schedule your visa stamping interview at a consulate somewhere that you can access that will take people who have your citizenship or residence. So happy to help. The employer needs, let's just assume that you got selected in this year's H1B lottery. The employer in this situation should make sure that the H1B petition gets approved right or gets filed right away, because June 30th is the deadline. Premium processing is optional, but if the employee wants to pay for it, they can, if the employer won't. And then if you don't use premium processing, hopefully you'll get the approval in September or October, but if you use it, then you would get it in 15 days. And then you schedule your H1B stamping interview in Chennai or Mumbai, or the various U.S. consulates in India, or potentially in a third country if that's where you're living. And then you can come into the U.S. up to 10 days prior to October 1st to start your new H1B from the lottery.
All right. So, Sandeep, you've got the answer. Hope you follow all that Sophie has mentioned. Thank you so much for your question. Let us know if you have another follow-up to this, but I hope you are happy with the answer. Meanwhile, let's quickly take Ravi's question. Ravi's also here. He says, H4 EAD filed along with the H1B in premium process. H1B extension and H4 were approved. However, H4 EAD not approved. And it's been more than 50 days. How to reach USCIS to expedite this request?
Oh my goodness. That's a very common situation. They are trying to make it go faster if the H1B was filed with premium processing, such that the H4 EAD will start getting adjudicated more quickly. There is a USCIS website about expedite requests. Maybe that link can be shared with everybody. But essentially, they're very interested if a person or a company is going to face severe financial loss without this work permit being approved. So if there's any way to have your spouse's employer initiate an expedite request on her behalf, that can involve phone calling USCIS, and sometimes they'll ask for more information. But usually, if somebody's job is critical to some massive project or deadline, where the company could potentially lose a lot of money, those are things that USCIS would definitely want to know about.
All right. So, Ravi. So, Ravi, you can maybe follow the link, maybe check out the link and help yourself. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sophie, for taking that up. And thank you so much for the answer. Let's quickly move to another question because we are getting a lot from the viewers. And so Sandeep is also again back, and he has a follow-up. He says, will there be any issue when I'm going for stamping back to my country? Like, will there be questions, or will there be any issues?
I don't know. There can always be questions and issues. You should work carefully with your company's immigration lawyer to ensure that your H1B was very accurately and expertly prepared. And if you have any concerns about, did you maintain your status in the US properly? Did you leave in the right time? Those are definitely questions you should try to get answers to from your company's attorney prior to departing the US, if you're planning for international travel, because you can do things to feel more prepared and help everything go smoothly. And having the right documents, understanding your history, understanding how to answer questions if you need to. Those are all things that help ensure a smooth and successful interview for a stamping appointment.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Sandeep. Thank you for your follow up. Let us know if you have another follow up. Sophie is also here for another, let's say, 10 minutes.
7 minutes. Let's
7.
go.
Oh,
Lightning round. Lightning round. Next
lightning round.
question.
Right. Okay. So Haley is here. She says, considering recent visa policy changes and geopolitical factors, I'm trying to figure out what factors I should prioritize when selecting between the H1B and H1B exempt category and L1 visa. Another part to it, H1B exempt category and L1 visa for expediting my hiring processes. Any insights you could share on that front?
Yeah, Helly, the best way to get here quickly is a cap exempt H1B. The best way to be able to stay continuously to wait a long, long time for a green card is a regular H1B and an approved I-140 petition. And if you're not extraordinary, the best one of those to get you a green card, if you're a manager or an executive, is an L1. So often people initially come here on L1 if they're qualified, and then they try to do an EB1C petition as soon as possible. And then they could still be in the H1B lottery to just provide optionality if there's delays with the EB1C. That could be a good strategy to consider if it's available to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Haley, for your question. Let's quickly come to Ashish's question. Ashish says, I had multiple registration with different employers done back in fiscal year 2022, H1B lottery, got picked in lottery for one employer, but they did not proceed with filing. Now I'm applying for H4 EAD. Will I have any issues due to past registration issues?
No, it should be fine. What could be a flag is if the prior employer committed fraud or something, or if it was a IT consulting company that maybe put your name in multiple times with other companies. Those are being investigated right now. But other than that, if a company simply sponsored you and you weren't selected, you should be totally fine for H4.
Great. Congratulations, Ashish. And thank you for your question. And again, Salman is also here. Okay, lightning round is going on. Salman is here. Salman says, what are the key differences between the H1B, H1B exempt, and L1 visa categories in terms of eligibility requirements?
Okay, H1B is for professionals who were chosen in the lottery. H1B exempt is for professionals working at universities, nonprofits affiliated with universities, or research nonprofits who are professionals. Those are normally paired with a full-time H1B to work at a company. But if you haven't gone through the lottery, you still have to go through the lottery at some point if you ever want to quit the nonprofit or research institution. And the L1 is for people who've been working for at least 1 year out of the United States for a company affiliated with, or a branch of, or a parent or subsidiary of a US company to transfer to the US headquarters. So they're very different. Basically, let's just assume there's a company in India and a headquarters in the US. If you've worked in India for a year, have the US company transfer you over. That's the easiest way. And if you don't have that opportunity and you can't wait for the H1B lottery to come next, try to get an H1B exempt lottery and then keep putting yourself or the employer should keep putting the employee in the H1B lottery every year as well.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for the answer. I know it's a lengthy answer, but we tried to.
That was the concise version.
Yeah. But thank you so much for Sophie for that. Oh, maybe one last question. And Sandeep is again back. He says, I understand. Thank you. I was trying to take your suggestion whether to file on counselor or regular processing, as there are different people stating different scenarios. Thank you again. And he says, as I have STEM OPT now, I'm trying to save money and use counselor processing, but will immigration take it as a fraudulent activity or such? Thank you. What do you have to say?
I don't think so. People are allowed to seek consular processing. One reason to do that is if you don't know your green card strategy yet. And so you want to maximize your usage of STEM OPT before activating the H1B to save all the H1B time for later. So it's definitely a strategy. But typically for people with, stable jobs in the US, we usually recommend just doing a change of status, but you don't have to. I just feel that it's always risky to add in an extra step. So if you can get something now, just get it. I think that's safer in general, or at least mitigates unnecessary risk. But certainly you have that option of consular processing as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Sandeep, again. So, Sophie, how many seconds, how many minutes to go?
We have 2 minutes. Let's do one more question or two more questions.
Great. Great. So Ashish is again back. He says, thank you for your answer. Quick follow-up. Do employer need to formally withdraw application after lottery selection if they do not want to proceed with filing H1B?
I believe these, I'm not sure because my team of 17 people does the actual interface with the software for me. So I'm not looking at that interface, but I believe if you simply do not file the full petition, you just lose your selections. I think that's how that goes, but have your employer double check.
All right. Thank you so much, Ashish, for your question again. And one last question for today's show is from Tejinder, and he says, I think we already have, did we already take this? What are the
No,
key
this is
differences
different.
in
Let's do it.
Okay. What are the key differences in the renewal processes for the L1 and O1 visas, and how do they affect my long-term stay in the US?
Okay. L1s valid up to 7 years for a manager or an executive, valid up to 5 years for a person with specialized knowledge. Originally, it's usually issued for 3 years and you get 2-year extensions, but if it's a new company, it's originally for 1 year. That's the L1. The O1 is initially valid for 3 years, and then you can get 1-year extensions for the rest of your life, or you can always apply for a new 3-year visa later. So the L1 really maxes out after 7 years, and the O1's available forever. So depending on your green card strategy, that would determine which of those you go for and when.
All right. Thank you so much, Tejinder, for your question. And thank you so much, Sophie, for
Thank you,
those
Rajni.
20
Thank you for
minutes.
you and your team. We pivoted. It was great. It was so much fun. I really appreciate all the questions and interest.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, even though the stream got short and so many interruptions happened. But thank you for those 20 minutes. Means a lot. Maybe we can have
Oh,
you whenever you are available next.
you're so welcome. Let's plan to do that. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much again, Sophie. And everyone, to get in touch with Sophie or to connect with Sophie, you can give her a call at +1 855 644 2581. Her website is www.alcorn.law. So you can also check that out. And Sophie, and you can email her at hello@alcorn.law. All right. So, well, to get in touch with her, please write down all these details and connect with her as soon as you can. And if you're looking for a project placement or visa sponsorship, please reach out to me. My number is +1 732 707 9151. My email is rajni@higherITpeople.com, and our website is www.higherITpeople.com. Remember, we also sponsor H1B visas and other work visas based on job availability and regulations. Again, thank you, Sophie. I'm already excited about our next show. I'm going to check with Rebecca when you're available next and
Perfect.
plan a
Thank
show
you
with you.
so much, Rajni. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.
You too, please. Thank you again. And thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this content, even though it was short and sweet, but I hope you did. And so make sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing to us, you never miss an update from Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. And we bring you the latest news, tips, and expert advice on immigration and job opportunities. Your subscription helps us to continue to provide valuable content for you. Don't forget to like, share, this video with your family and friends. If you have any questions related to this topic or any immigration topic, drop them in the comments below. Our experts will reply for free. And thank you again for watching and for supporting our channel. And right now, I would like to talk to you about this very fantastic opportunity that we have for you. Okay. I would like to talk about this opportunity, work from home opportunity. We have this exciting opportunity, work from home, for you guys. If you want to work 2 hours a day and earn a monthly pay of 5,000 Indian rupees plus 500 Indian rupees for every meeting that you attend, you can earn up to 20,000 Indian rupees per month. You can apply now by emailing on shravanti.shodavarupu@highrightpeople.com. Your responsibilities will include managing social media posts, creating engaging content, responding to messages, monitoring analytics, conducting research and data entry will be your responsibilities. So don't wait up, apply now, email to Shravanti and grab this fantastic opportunity that we have for you. And before I go, as I always say, thank you so much for your support. Keep watching and keep subscribing to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I'll see you all very soon. Until then, bye for now.
Consultant seeking a new opportunity? We offer job placement services for US citizens, green cards, EADs, and visa holders. We also sponsor various work visas like H1B, E3, TN, and green cards. 20 plus years of experience in the industry. Exceptional employee benefits. Highly rated by our employees. Global presence with 200 plus recruiters and direct clients. Connect with us. Call us on the number 732-707-9151 or mail us at rajni@higheritpeople.com or visit our website www.higheritpeople.com.